since we're not going to tell it to you.
We will tell you.
Are you going to tell me?
No, we're going to tell you.
We'll
we
give
tell
you an
people,
idea.
okay, how do you sign off most of the time?
Yeah. We're here yesterday, today, and tomorrow.
That's what the internet is. It is the most god-awful greatest library since the days of Alexander the Great, the Library of Alexandria, and people don't treat it with the respect it deserves.
Well, part of it is you know, they're talking about traditional media losing ground. You've got all these different types of media. Use the media for the strength that it has.
Right.
For example, like Twitter is great for getting things out immediately.
Immediately.
You don't know who's going to pay attention to it, but
the internet is long form. It's not short form like people think. It's actually long form. It is long form and getting more high. I mean, we have the capabilities of going on the internet and do live broadcasting, which we aren't doing. We can. All I do is hook it to the computer, and we can go broadcast live. It would take us about 10 minutes to set up because we don't have the computers on. But the computer's on. If it's already on, you plug it in, push the thing, and we're broadcasting live to the world in maybe 60 seconds is all it would take if the computer was running.
And they talk about some of these other things that are losing ground. Newspapers. What do you think is the best reason for a newspaper?
Oh, the
I always love local ads.
It's local.
It's local.
You do not get local on the internet. You do not, and you can get local on Twitter, but you're only getting 140-second bites on Twitter. And they will use it local Twitter to sit there and tell you we're having a sale at such and such time. This is a Twitter bargain at the grocery store or at a fast food place.
And actually, some of the ways that people use it here, the best ways, is like the roach coach, the ice cream truck. They tell you about all the different spots they are when they're coming, so then people all have an idea.
And you know, they're also telling you what the speed traps are. So
yeah.
But no, but they said that traditional media, television, radio, and newspapers are all losing ground. It's because every one of those things has gotten away from what made it what it was.
For example, radio.
Basically, radio is went, okay, this is unreal. Do you know the golden oldies are 80s music? No, the people that listen, okay, most people listen to radio as ambient noise. They want to listen to the radio station that goes along with their age category. There's nothing on television other than, you know, I mean, okay, even the stupid FM music type things are vanishing now.
Really?
Because they're catering to the hip hoppers, the things like that. You can't find bloody disco music anywhere because it's out.
But I will tell you, if you have an emergency, where's the #1 place you're going to turn?
They turn to radio to find out what's going on.
Yep, emergency radio.
Television, newspapers are local. Radio, it tells you emergencies. Television used to be an area where, okay, it was more important to break in with a news item. And then, you know what they really did? I mean, this is the most sacrilegious thing they don't do anymore. They just stopped what they were doing and then backpedaled the whole schedule.
Oh, imagine that.
Yeah, but because what happens is what they started, when they would break into something, they would continue to let the show run. I mean, I mean, it took me like a dozen times to see one television show because every time the thing was on, it was broke into, and they just let it run. And I get 12 times to see the whole 1 hour show in its entirety because that's how TV works today. They don't understand that you can just simply, okay, the people are paying for the show. The advertisers are paying for the show. If the show is backpedaled, as far as the people are concerned, it doesn't make any difference. If they backpedal, the show is on at 8 o'clock, they're paying for the show at 8 o'clock, but if that show is interrupted and then backpedaled, it's still the same audience. You know, you haven't lost the audience. But they think you lose the audience, so what they do is they keep the schedule going no matter what. No. The audience is going to watch it, 8 is going to watch it if it resumes at 8:15. But
if it's just an interruption, we're not talking about changing your entire schedule where it's geared for an audience.
That's right.
We're talking emergencies.
But they've gotten away from it. It's why you see very few interruptions on television now. You know, they'll run an ungodly. You know, they'll say news bulletin, and then Michael Jackson died, and then they'll follow Michael Jackson died with oh God, we should basically wipe out our entire schedule for Michael Jackson. That was the anomaly, but that doesn't happen anymore.
Well, here, I love this part. It says, no teenager Robson knew reads a newspaper regularly since most of them acquire their news through the internet or on TV.
They listen.
They can't bother to read pages and pages of text.
But the pages and pages, okay, we boggle people who tell them we have 1.5 gigabytes of written material on the internet. 1.5 gigabytes. We have tremendous stuff. I mean, some of our stuff is so, you know, like they'll come back, well, you know, that we have new owners. Can you go back and change what you did 4 years ago? And I said, no. You know, because it's history.
It's historical to go back 4 years.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't have access. Here's one of the things on the internet. Is people think that it's on the internet that you can change it. You always can't.
Can't, because we actually do not have up things that people. Okay, we have. We've done about 4,500 videos right now. Of those 4,500 videos, there are only 2,700 of them that are directly up, but the other 2,700 are basically still out there. They're on, you know, they're just in, like they said, when I was in broadcast, they call it an ether, because anytime you put something up on the internet, it is there forever. You can't remove it no matter what you want. Somebody has it somewhere, and it's there forever. That's why the internet is a magnificent library. Because it's why we have, if you go through everything, we have over 21 million links because of the 4,500 videos that we put up in 1.5 million built in 1.5 gigabytes. But
now here's the other stuff. They're put off by intrusive advertising, so they prefer listening to advertisement-free music on websites versus traditional radio.
Yeah, but they don't like pop-ups, which I told people in the beginning, people were pissed off. They don't like banner ads. They're annoying and pointless. You don't have to do that, folks. I grew up in an era when, in the middle of a TV show, you know, actually, first of all, you'd have a guy wearing, you know, he'd be wearing, you know, on his actions, he'd be wearing a Forenza tuna thing. And then somebody would say, yeah, that's an interesting hat that you're wearing. Where did you pick up that interesting hat at? Oh, I was at Forenza Tuning today, and they gave me this hat because, you know, they were doing a special. I had the special done on my car, and they said, well, you need another hat? And they go, oh, here's another hat for you. You know, go
product placement.
Product placement and advertising. They would make it part of what they were doing. I know. I also did radio back in the early days. You had to have a broadcast, you had to have a third-class broadcasting license to be on the air jockey.
Wow.
And we would do it. We'd sit there and we'd be, you know, like we'd go dum 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 boo doo dum boo. Oh yeah, did you know that that this such and such has got this going on over at such and such? And then you go dum dum. Oh, and also, did you know that this is being done?
Which you can do for local.
Yeah, you can do
some for national, but part of it is, I think, they're trying to do the ads placement because they want to
They want
to syndicate them.
Okay, what happens is today radio stations are cartridge stations. So they'll take a cartridge, they're programming, and there's no opportunity. You know, it's why the shows where they're the live shows that are interactive get all of the attention. Is because these guys, they're doing live hour. You know, they'll sit there and they'll. You know, yeah, we got another crappy advertisement we've got to do right now.
Yeah, but it's
but they're making it.
It's real. It's real. That's why a lot of times when I do when I do interviews, I tell the people, I said this is a casual interview or it's non-scripted, because otherwise we're not doing 60-minute a 60-minute interview where you're sitting down, they're sitting there, they've got the questions, you're asking them, you know, all the stage line. We're not doing that because there's also a part where it seems more real and authentic when you're just asking them and interacting versus reading something that's totally scripted.
Oh yeah, because
and we're looking at out of course because we're commenting on some comments that somebody made.
No, but when I was younger, back in the early days of in broadcast television, our radio, they would simply absolutely. We'd have some guy. He'd come into the sound walk. He'd throw the hat at us, and he'd say, "Do 30 seconds on it."